Welcome, everybody. It's today's Lunch and Learn. I'll be your host for today. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or feel free to type them in the chat or the Q&A, and I'll be monitoring those things, and I'll answer it to the best of my abilities and try to demonstrate if I can. So let's see. While you guys get your questions all configured, we did get a pre-sub. So let me just find where that pre-submitted one is, and we'll go over it. And then let's see. The only pre-sub we have here is I need to run a query slash fetch entity against the report, the flow structure report data. What's the quickest way to do that? And I think that was Marvin. I'll allow you to talk, Marvin, if you want to give some more context. What information are you trying to
Hey, I
find from
can't
that
hear at
report?
the moment, so let me get back to you.
Okay, no worries. Oh, your pre-sub may not have been registered. Yeah, I don't think I saw it. Helmet. Let me see. Folder extensions? All right, we'll go with you. All right, how much questions about folder extensions? What you want to know about them?
Um, okay, so I think I'm grasping what they are, but I have a certain situation, and I'm hoping that you can kind of show me how some things might work, to help me understand a little bit
Sure.
more. So I'm working on this big project, and we have these big workflows that represent projects, physical projects. Now these physical projects are broken down into stages, right? There's like authorization, permitting, construction. There's six of them.
Hmm.
And then inside each of those stages, let's say, for example, the first one, authorization, there are 10 tasks that have to go out to 10 different people, right?
Hmm.
Now, for each of those tasks, there's metadata associated with it. And what does that mean? I mean, like, okay, let's say you get a task for the authorization stage for a certain project,
Okay.
and you get this task, and it's really just telling you, hey, you've got a task. You go do your work stuff to make sure that the project goes well, and you might return back to that task to write a comment or take a note or upload a quick document, all while not approving that assignment, right? So what I'm assuming that I can do is I can create basically a folder that I'm going to put that assignment in with the folder extension. And then as a part of that folder extension, I can have all that metadata that'll hold the comments, the documents that they want to upload, and and then
Hmm.
that folder will hold that data, but also kind of be the location for that assignment. Um, and then I could create a page that would show that data and kind of, allow them to do the comments and stuff like that. Do you understand what I'm trying to do here?
Yeah, and no, I definitely understand. I think it's a frequent use case in decisions where we create that. How we leverage that is the type of report data source you'll be using is like I think it's like the entity data source, where basically you can just report, you can filter it by anything inside of a folder, and
Hmm.
you can say, and then we'll show you every entity inside of it. So your assignments, your documents, and
Hmm.
the additional entity someone created. So you can find out everything that's inside that. So yeah, you absolutely can do that.
So right now I'm doing the folder activity panel, right? And that kind of what you're talking about? It's showing everything, right? But you're saying that I could have a more specific report that just showed me all the assignments or just showed me all the documents, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll create some small so you can kind of see it. So let's say I have,
And
let's say, yeah,
I'm
go
I'm
ahead.
I'm very specifically interested in the page because uh you know they might want to come in and um I'm doing this because I need to link people to that specific folder. I was the deep linking guy the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And so far I can just link people to that folder as long as there's not like a designer folder in the path, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that works just fine. But I'm curious about like the add document on the page. There's like a little add document tile or whatever for the pages or stuff like that, or the buttons, like the folder actions. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
understand how those work, but I think I'll need to.
Sure. Let's talk about
That's
that.
a
So
lot. So just kind of drill on whatever you think will help me the most, and then I'll cede my time to whoever else.
Sounds good. Yeah, let me build you this thing. Let's see, my dash, and I'll send this to you if it's helpful. So my stuff, you got a folder extension.
Yeah, so
So
it's a folder extension inside of a case entity, and that's not a problem, right?
that's not a problem. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So what I'm not going to show
no
that
problem.
part
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but the concept will be the same
Sure.
because it's just folders and stuff. So let's say I have this dashboard. Can I import? Let me see if I drag some stuff from my desktop. I want to put this thing, add this as a document. So I have this thing here. I want to, what's another thing that I could add? Let's say I add a subfolder inside of this, right? So we'll create another folder, subfolder. Right, and then I'll also create I'll create an assignment and I'll store it in this my dashboard folder. Where's the folder ID? Right there. And then let me create, yes, copy the text. And then I'll create a flow, create assignment. And then we'll just do add task. We'll do it to admin just so we could see it. And then assignment name here. Hello. And then I think in the assignment setup, I can specify a folder type. Select assignment, and I'll say my dash, boom. All right, cool. So now I just got to create that form real quick. And checkbox, and this, and data. All right, cool. So now I got that. Awesome. Close and save this. I'm going to run it. Perfect. Now we should have some stuff in here. Yep, so there's my assignments. You could say I got all that stuff here. So now
Right.
let's create a page to see how we can report on that. So I'm going to say
And you
create
you haven't
page.
created an actual folder extension data structure. So
I haven't, but
so
it would
the
still be
concept's
the
the
same.
same. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. Basically, what the folder extension is, it's literally just folders. Like kind of like the normal folder that I have there. It just
Yeah.
has other functionality where you can create configuration actions to it.
Yeah.
Because essentially what a folder extension is, there's a great video that explains it. It's called extension data in our YouTube channel. And essentially what that means is any custom fields that you make
hmm
inside of decisions with a folder extension, it just combines the native folder type. Oh, perfect. It's this one right
With
here.
those extra,
Exactly. So
yeah, with
this
those
is
extra columns.
exactly. So the blue indicates this is just like the decisions folder data type, which is what I'm using to demonstrate this.
Right.
But a folder extension just means you can add email, app number, app date, right? You can add other things to it.
Uh-huh.
But it's just essentially it's just a folder. So that's why
And
this will
so
still be. Go
in
ahead.
my flow, I've been, I create this data or this folder structure, and so I would use the create folder extension CRUD action, right, to build that folder when I'm
Hmm.
doing it programmatically. Okay.
Exactly correct.
Yep.
I'm just doing it manually, but
Yeah,
100%.
I got you. Yeah.
Page display stuff. All right. And then here's what you can do. So I can say, let's say I want to display all the stuff that's inside this folder. I can create a report over it if you want something that's a little bit more, report over entities. And I think it's like called entity data source, if I'm not mistaken. I've done this like a while. I've done this one a few times, but it's been a while. And basically what you can do is you can say, cool, I want to know the entity, and I also want to know the table name it's from. Let's say you want to be able to know where it's from. And then what you can do is there's a specific filter that you have called in folder filters. Because obviously when you have this is literally everything inside of the system, which
Right.
isn't helpful. But what I can do is I can say, okay, I want an in folder filter for folder. I'm going to do this statically, but you can do this more dynamically by just doing the in folder, like for current folder.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That would be the best one. I'm just going to show you this so you can see like just how it does it. And so I can say
Okay.
for the my dash, I want to display that there. And then boom, you can see I have both of those documents, or the document, the subfolder, and then the entity assignment right there. Right. And then once I add this to a page, or add this to the dashboard rather, that's not what I want. Add page, and I pick it, and I said pick to display stuff, boom. And then now I just go to my page display stuff, and there's my report viewer that displays
Right.
all of that stuff. So you could add metrics or actions or anything that you
Yeah.
want here.
So then one of a small question, and you can move on from there, is like, okay, on this page, if I create this page and then I save some information to the folder extension, right? Could I then display those fields on here using like I think there's a data label thing.
Data label. They say that one more time. You want to use like your extended fields and display
Yeah,
that
so
on a data
like
label? Go ahead.
basically the idea here is that okay, this page is going to show a task details view, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I'd like to show, the comments that are made and the documents that are added, but then also some just basic string data that they're associating with these tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So I would save that to the folder extension, and then could I leverage that? Could I show those values on this page, right? Because it's looking at this folder. So can I
Gotcha.
then point it to the folder extension columns and say, hey, show this value or
Yeah,
be able to change this value or something like that.
absolutely. So I think, let me see if I can do that real quick. Essentially, what you would do is you would, in your report, you would have to make sure you set the ID. Let's see, we'll do the ID of this. I'm displaying it, but you don't have to. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this as like a filter change data source. It's just so that you can send, and we'll say this is my entity ID. Basically, so I can send the different things to the other page control. So let's say I want a document viewer,
Hmm.
right? Because I want to display document viewer. And then get from selection bus. I can say this is right EID. And so now if, I think I did this right. So now this would be example, boom, right? Because I selected this
Yeah.
document, it displays that. Right, this is not a document, so obviously it's not going to work. But I can then have different controls on my pages that will display based on a user selection if it's
Hmm.
relevant.
So you couldn't show like that's all the stuff that's in the folder, but like for example, this folder itself has a value that's like created on date today, right? Just now that you created.
Okay.
Can you show those individual fields as like a label or something like that?
Let's see. I believe you can. You would do it specifically with. I'm trying to the data. Let's see, folder view or scratchpad. Let's see, because if you would have some type of process that would fetch that data,
What? Oh, so you couldn't just link it to a data name via the label like that?
link it to the data name via the label. Well, you could, but you have to. How the formatting of the dashboarding works, you have to be able to fetch that data via the ID or something, and then display that there. So, like for example, if you just want one field from it, you could then send that as a filter change data source. So let's say I want to say table name, right? I can say this is going to be my table name, and I'll say this is table name, right? So now that's part of my set and filter change data source, and then I can easily just grab that and say data control, data label, and then can I get from update from selection bus, and I could say, okay, this is table ID, I think is what I called it. Did I call it that? Table name. Oh, that's what I did. I said table name. So as long as that's same,
Hmm.
right, then you can display whatever specific value that you want. And so if I save this, and then I think if I go back, it will just display the table name. Oh no, what happened?
Yeah.
Let's see, table name equal doc ID and oh, I see. Table name is equal to document. So yeah, so it's I think the text is like white or something, but that's how you can get it to display label data name. Let me get the view. Use form font. Let me make sure that it is bold, italic. I think now will display. But yeah, there'd probably be something we'd have to change on it, but it does. You can see that over here it has the table name up in the URL, and that's how you would just like change
Yeah.
your data for that stuff. So
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
send
All
you
right.
this and I'll fix that so you can have that as
Sure.
like
Sure.
a
Great.
demonstration.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I
Of
have lots
course.
more questions, so if you run out, let me know.
I gotcha. Well, I'm gonna move on, but I'll circle back with you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's see. Mark Shan, I need to be able to find where a defined data structure field is used so I can delete that field and change any mappings where used. All right, Mark, let me allow you to talk. So you need to find the fields used in a defined data structure and then delete it wherever that resides. That's the goal.
So, we have this field. It's used in many different flows, literally, 20, 30 flows. But there's another field that's kind of duplicated with a different name. So we're trying to just go down to one field, right? So
Mhm.
before I delete the field, I want to remap it to the new field. But is apart from looking at where the whole object is mapped to, is there any other way to look for a specific field in where it's used in fields? In
Like
flows, I should say.
mapping, yeah, oh, and flows. I
Yeah, and
think
and also in mapping, yeah.
I'm trying to see. Is this flow structure report? Let me load this one.
I was looking in exactly that area.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. There might be something we can use to find out what the mapping is. Okay, there we go. So now we have this is just all right. Let's see if I can edit this report. I'm curious to see if there's any other additional fields. Step ID, step image, step for short by name. Okay, so it doesn't have mapping. This is a good question. Let me ask in support. Let's see. Maybe there is something.
Because it's got to be a frustrating thing for everybody. You want to get rid of a field, you want to find where that field is used in every flow and every mapping.
Yeah.
You can use the object dependency, but that doesn't guarantee that that particular field within the object is there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Particular mappings inside
Right.
the flow. I know there it has to be. Let's do some digging. I got some time. Let's do some digging. I think where I always start with questions like these is anything that's this is just gonna teach you my mindset on trying to how to figure out. I really don't know where it is, but I think I have an idea on how to traverse it. And so I'll kind of walk you through my mindset.
Yep.
Anything in decisions is always stored in the database. So like
Hmm.
when you load a flow, it has to know what your inputs are and what you have it mapped. So
Hmm.
where I'm thinking this is going is I think that this is stored somewhere where I can say, hey, let me fetch or like, here's the flow ID.
Hmm.
Let me correspond that with like the input mapping table, and then you can see mappings. Maybe. That's kind of where I'm thinking. So let's kind of confirm if that's true. How I always confirm this is if you right click on anything in version 8 and version 9, there's a query editor.
Okay.
And then I just look for, let's see, mapping. Let's see if there's something in here. Okay, that's a custom data structure. Let's see, inputs. Form input model extension. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to flows. Breakpoint, constant, data, delta storage, page, step folders, step run data. What's in step run data? Flow name. Okay, so that's just the run. Okay. Flow tracking. Flow name. So that's just the view page. Okay, so it's not that. Queued flow, simple flow structure. What's that? Add action, can be base type, created on, data type, full name. Include type, look for list, state, superclass, table name override. Okay, so that's just if you create a flow structure inside of here. Let's see, what's the delta storage, current flow name, data size, flow data, primary tracking ID, category extension. Okay, so that's all flow. Let's just look at data. In case data, data declaration. Let's look at this. This might be something interesting. Run. All right, values, name, data Hey, here we go. I think this might be sim. I don't know with anchor. Okay, this looks like rule stuff. Is there any flow ID? Okay. So it's just the data declaration. Let's see, there's also a document. Let me open up this document too that does like like decisions native tables.
Mm-hmm.
That this might native tables. Decisions tables. Like called, come on. Decisions tables. It should say raw SQL assignment database tables. Articles. Reading, integrating, clustering. System message overview. All right, so maybe not here, but what if I go to install it basic prerequisite? I know. Or getting started. Organization. Nope. Personal best practice. All right, I got one more thing to check. So if we got the data declaration, I don't think it might be that. Form structure, database data, database query, database things, data type. Let's see, element configuration data. That might be something. That's interesting. Element configuration. Okay, it's just component ID and data. Okay, element, let's see, this one might be something. Okay, so I'm wondering, here's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if there's something you could find. Okay, data declaration. I believe I'll write this query for you. I'll do it offline. It'll
Mm-hmm.
take me a little bit to make it, and I'll do some tests. What I believe is there's 3 tables here. We have 3 tables we can join on, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the element registration. That just gives you the flow
Mm-hmm.
that right that it belongs to. The other table is going to be the what is it? Data declaration. That's the other
Mm-hmm.
one that we saw where you have all the lists and the values and all that stuff. But I think that was just everything inside of the system.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing easy to data declaration to filter on. And then we have this element registration join, which I believe element registration underscore data join is that's just the like what do they call that in SQL databases? It's a many to many relationship table
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
created. So I think if we just join on these two, um, or these 3, I think we'll be able to find like put in flow 1. Here's all the data declaration mappings. That's what I'm thinking. So let me write that query for you, and I'll get it offline, and I'll test it offline, and I'll send you
Mm-hmm.
an email if it's helpful or not. But I believe that's what it is.
But
Um,
so you're saying you're taking a flow ID. I'd prefer to sort of say, here's the field ID, for example, where tell me everywhere where every flow where I have to go.
sure, I could do it that way too. The table allows that, so I can organize it that way. So you want it priority of the value of the mapping. So like, let's see data declaration. Let's say declaration. I just want to make sure I understand the requirement. I think I do, but you want declaration, and we go to, so you want to see like, hey, if I select, let's say I made the data to test. Let's say you have
Yep.
a bunch of properties, and then you want to say, okay, data to test is in, okay, cool, these 3 flows, right? And then you have all of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay,
Yes,
got it. Gotcha.
exactly. Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me write that. Let's see. We gave a project level report for this one. Okay, cool. Where? And
I'm glad it wasn't something simple.
well, it might be even more simpler. I just got a confirmation that there is a project level report that might report on this. So let
Ooh.
me, I think I know where to look for it. So if I go to manage health, is it data structures, data members, allow null is list? That's just the data structure status, infrastructure. Let's see, security.
Just as an FYI, I'm on version 8.
Oh, you're on version 8? Darn it. Okay, so then you wouldn't be able to use this. You should upgrade, man. This I know that's like upgrade, and it's like that's like, several months worth of work.
Yeah, right.
So, okay. Ooh, let's see. I'm just curious. It is okay, cool. So it is project auditing and then it's mappings. So there you go. So then you
Oh,
can see the type and all that. So it is easier in version 9. It's just there, but I'll write you that query.
wonderful. Can I tack a small, easy one on the end? I don't know how many questions you got queued up.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You can go for one.
So I've never done this before. I'm trying to retrieve data from an external website that just returns an HTML document. Um, when I do it, via a regular browser, I get the data. When I try and do it through decisions, I don't get the data back. It's something weird is happening.
Say that
Like
one more time. You're trying to get a document from a decisions
it's an
integration?
HTML document from an external website. So it's just got, a bunch of text in it that I wanna retrieve. So I'm
Mm.
just using the step HTML, I mean not HTML, get and it's not working. I think it's either detecting we're not a human or something like that because it returns some weird thing saying robots and all sorts of things. And I can give you the exact website if you want. I mean,
Sure. Is it just
it's an
open source?
unprotected website, so it's just data.
Sure, yeah. If you can
Give
get
me
it
a
to me.
second. It is.
I think you could type it in the chat too.
Okay. Yep. I'll type it in the chat. Uh, Here's the copy link. Oh, chat's disabled, it says.
Oh, what? Oh, I can enable it. How is that enabled? Oh, sorry, wait, hold on. No one can chat. Everyone can chat. Now you can paste it. There you
There
go.
we go. Yep.
Magic.
There you go. That's the link.
Okay, cool. A Hemmings model. Okay, cool. And you're trying to enter. Oh, you're just trying to like call. You're just trying to call that web page. That's it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And it does take a while to return, but that's not the problem. I don't
I
believe.
gotcha. So it's basically just any website. So if I go to like
Yeah.
dog API or something, like you just want to call that website, like just this
Correct.
entire, to get the HTML. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I'll just do that as an example. I think stuff and flow call to get HTML info. I think it's like if I do a get, if I
Yep.
do,
That's the call that I'm using. Yep.
okay, cool. That's what I thought. Then I just say constant
Yep. Exactly.
and let me call it. All right, cool. And I
Yeah.
got doc type HTML like this. That's what you're looking for?
Well, but that's not what should come back. It's like huge. If you go, are you cancelled? Try going to the site one more time. You'll see.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully it'll come back. Not that one.
Oh, the one you sent?
Yeah,
Okay, I gotcha. Oh, 'cause yours is a lot larger.
yeah.
Okay.
Just let it spin, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll give it a go. And then I can go ahead. Oh, there we go. Eh.
oh, there you go. Yeah,
Okay, so it's just a list of things like that.
yeah, yep.
Okay. That's so interesting. So it's just a list. All right, and then we go back to decisions. So then I'll put that in there. Save, then we'll debug this. Interesting.
Yep, exactly. So what's going on there?
I wonder if it's just since it takes so long to load, I don't think it's waiting for it. It just returns.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm thinking. So what if I integrate, but there's no integration. Let's see, get data. HTML. HTML, PF, HTML, ASCII. That's
Yeah.
the flow I'm in. There's gotta be something. Cause yeah, that get
I couldn't
call.
find anything. And the funny thing is, in version 9, you can add the timeout. In version 8, you can't.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's right. You can add the timeout. Morning outcomes. Cause yeah, it shouldn't. I believe that's what it sounds like to me. Cause if I run this, it runs so quick and then just
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
format viewport. How would you do this? All right, let me add like timeout in milliseconds. I don't think that would really change anything. Let's see, millisecond. Let's do 5,000. And then we'll debug it. Nope, see, I don't think it. That's just
Nope.
if it didn't
It's weird,
do
right?
anything. It is, yeah. I'm not sure. I think maybe there might be another step to fetch from a website. Is there?
I
Are you
couldn't.
able to integrate with this or no?
What's that?
Is there any way to integrate with this or?
No, I tried.
Okay, I got you. I'll mess around offline, see what I can find.
Perfect, but thank you. I threw two curly ones at you.
Yeah. Well, cause yeah, cause it's a fun one. I enjoy ones where I have to test them out. So I'm gonna save this and I'll send you a follow-up email.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Of course. Alrighty, let's see. We got that one. Marvin, what you got? Oh, there you go. You can talk now.
I sent an email about trying to actually query against the flow structure report.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, you
And I
did
think
that.
the better question now is if I ran that report as a step in a flow, can I filter that report when I run it?
Can you
Or
filter that report when you run it? I
can
mean,
I
yeah,
provide filters to do that?
yeah. I guess what I would do is all you have to do is you can say, let me look at this flow structure report. Okay, cool. That's that one.
Yep.
And then what I'll say is, okay, let me grab the flow structure report. I think you could say flow structure report. My flow structure report,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I think, is there flow?
It's just flow structure report.
Flow structure report, boom. And then you can add whatever values you want, step
Right.
name, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just add your filters here.
Okay.
And then I could say, so let's say I want it based on step name equals create data.
All right, but I want to do this dynamically from a run step. In
I
other
think
words, when I create the report, I don't know what that filter is going to be. I mean, I
yeah,
could run the report and then run a collection filter or something, but it kind of defeats the purpose of. Yeah, I
I
was
think
at runtime edit, but I don't know how to do that.
okay. Well, let's test it out. Let's make it runtime editable, and I'll call this one and see if it actually
But
adds that.
I didn't see the parameters show up in my flow structure, but maybe I was doing something wrong.
Probably may not work. Who knows? I'm just testing it out because I'm just curious. Pick existing my flow structure report,
Oh,
and let's see. Oh, there we go. See,
all right.
equals
Well,
value. So that would help you do it dynamically.
I see what you just did, and that looks like what I did, but I'll go back and I was in the right direction. And if you change that type to data rows,
Uh-huh.
that shouldn't affect it in any way, should it?
No, then it'll just filter out the
Okay,
data.
well,
So I could say, what is it? If I
shooting
do,
from the hip, yeah.
well, let's test it out. Start step, and then let's debug it, and then I think my output should be a bunch of, okay, so there's nothing with the start step on it. Let me edit the report. And I'm going to, let me just see what the other steps are. Show all when the filter is empty. Oh, step name is blank. Okay, let's do raw SQL.
Even better.
Yeah, let's say if I want to do that. And then now I say raw SQL. And then
Mhm.
now if I run this, it should be raw. Yep, there we go. See raw SQL.
That's exactly what I want to do. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm glad yours was a little bit easier because I've been I have a couple ones I have to take offline, so I'm glad I was able to boom get a good one.
But at least I know it's possible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. Alrighty, so that's that one. We got that one. Let's see. Alrighty. Let's see. I have a subdialog link on a flex layout form. The text of the link won't be wrapped on cell phone as be wrapped on cell phone. Also, the dialog prompt window can't display correctly on the cell phone. It only shows part of the information on the scroll bar beside. I'm gonna Dong Mei, I'm gonna allow you to talk. What are you trying to do? So we're doing flex layout
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing the flexing layout. Then I have a link. I use the sub dialog link on my form.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks fine on browser. If I shrink the browser screen or something, because that link has a long text, like that's please attention for those people. So that link text is long. And on my computer it looks okay when I shrink screen, but when I kind of create a URL, then open the page on my cell phone, that link always cannot be wrapped. It always just one line. It just cannot have the multiple line for that text. The link.
So you're using a flex layout to have
Yes.
a better mobile form experience.
Yeah, I try to, yeah. But yeah, only on the cell phone. Only on cell phone it won't work. But on screen, on computer, everything is okay. I can, yeah, on computer I can shrink the screen, then looks fine. But on cell phone, it won't, the text won't wrap.
Right. I'm wondering if that's a limitation with just the mobile phones and how they render that HTML. Because what we typically encourage people to do is, let's say I have a form here. This is gonna be my small was it simplistic form, right? And then I can add a button and here,
Yeah,
right?
but this is not flex. I use kind of remove all the grid, then just has the flex layout.
Correct. I know that you have a flex layout, but the problem that
Yeah.
you're experiencing is not due to the flex layout. It's due to that. It's how the mobile renders. So that's why I'm not using flex layout. Basically, what my solution is instead of leave your flex layout form, but then
Okay.
what you would have to do is you have to create another type of form. Right? Because if I go here, this is my form. Let me go in my flow, test my form. And if I go to show form right here, and I display this simplistic form, right? This is imagine this is my flex layout. I know it's not, but like I run it,
Okay.
you're saying it works good, right? This is fine.
Okay.
But when you put it on mobile, the difference thing here is that on our form setup, notice that there is a pick or create mobile form.
Yeah, so I have to create a new one. No,
Correct. I think you
but
need to create and say, okay, this is the mobile form. And we'll say mobile form.
that's not what I like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
Jared,
flexible.
I'm sorry.
That's what we're trying to do is to get away from having to do multiple forms.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah,
why we were trying to use the flex layouts.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
why we use flex layout.
No, and I totally get it. That's very reasonable. I'm just wondering if the reason why it's not working on mobile is because how the mobile form renders that HTML. And
then
it
looking
does
to
that.
the decisions web page, I saw that is supported, like the sub dialog link. It's support the flex layout. It's supported this element. So suppose I assume
Mhm.
it should work, but I don't know why on cell phone it's not. It just not when I open it on cell phone, it not work.
Mhm.
So
That,
that's
yeah, this would definitely be something that I would make a support ticket and have a support person
and
share screen.
also when I click the link, the dialog window pop up, but that window seems to has the height limitation because it only show part of my information,
Mhm.
but I have to use finger to scroll up down to see all the information. But meanwhile, people when they open it, there's no when just opening it, there's no scroll bar. So people
Mhm.
maybe don't know there still have rest of information on the page. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
but this
yeah.
this thing only happened on the mobile device, not on the screen. On the screen, everything looks fine.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's like I said, I'm curious if if it's just the rendering. It may not be because you can use Flex Layout also for mobile forms. So you may what I've made advise doing is submit a support ticket and just have a technician help you fine tune that.
Okay.
Because you may be able to get the dynamic moving of it.
Okay.
It's just there's probably some setting that needs to change, but that would
Yeah.
be I would say have a support technician help you out with that.
Okay. Thank you. That's all my question.
Of course. Sorry, I can help. All right. Oh, Jeremy, you said you're doing what Helmet is wanting to do all the time. What was it? Let me give you ability to talk.
Yeah, and he was trying to have different data from his extension show up. That data label,
Mm-hmm.
you have that drop down for the data name. If it's part of like if you're trying to do a custom page for like a case, you can select those values
Yeah.
there and have them
Mm.
display. Or other times I've used a flow run part with a form inside of it to then display those items as well.
I think you can hear me now. But yeah, so I found that, appreciate it. And it does work as you're saying. Um I have other questions in regards to the pages, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Well, Helmet, if you got those other questions, we've cycled back to you. So if you got some other
Yeah.
questions, still got time.
So kind of back to the same idea here, right, where we can display that the folder extension data on the page. Let's say, for example, that I extend a field onto my folder that is a status, right? And so they come to this task page and they can update the status. If I wanted to give them the ability to augment that value, so let's say, they come in, it's in progress on time, and then they come in and they're late, right? And they need to change that status. Is there a way I could utilize like a form tile or something like that to directly change the value in the folder extension field, which would then, reflect immediately on that page?
Yeah, absolutely. You would combine two things. Let me just add a flow run part to kind of show you that. Yeah, absolutely. What you would have to do though is in order to get it to like appear like that is let's see. Let me add my flow run part. Flow run part and put it here. All right, cool. Oh, that's right. My data label's somewhere here. I just didn't see it. Oh, I have two data labels. Whoops. All right. Right here. And then let me just create a flow. We'll say this is flow to display form.
So you just would retrieve the folder extension entity by, oh,
You would use a step called get page variable ID, which allows you to get the variable of the folder ID because in the URL, the folder ID is up here.
right,
And that would be the thing that will display your folder extension. And then what
right.
that would do is you can leverage that to say, okay, let's get the property of that folder extension to display. So I'm going to say, let's see, what is it? Fetch entities. right? And I'll say folder. And then the criteria would be my folder ID. Boom, and then my results. Oop, now I have to show form. Just so we can see it. Pick or create. Pick existing, simplistic form. That's what we're gonna grab. Attach that to here. I'm gonna add a field on my simplistic form, just call it data label. And we go to data name, and I'll say this is data, status data. And if I go to status data, cool, we got that. And then, so that should get us that information. Then we pass in the folder ID, a flow data from page data. Cool, and then now we display that status entity results. I'll grab first, and there should be a status field somewhere. State, perfect. Oh, I'm the wrong one. Flow data. We go to status, first folder, status, state, right? And then I can select save this, and I'll say this is a constant true. And then now if I go to my dashboard, it will display my, it's really big. And so since I have no state, can I change the state of this? I want to change update state. Because it's blank because it doesn't have a state on it. And then I got to make the form a little bit smaller too. Simplistic form, instead of it being that big, let's move it up here. And I'm going to make it more like this. And then status. Move this up. And then let me set the entity state for that one. Set entity state.
So you could create a super small form that was literally just one drop down, and you could kind of put it into a real small layout kind of box. Have
Exactly.
it line up with your label, and then it's really it's a form and a flow, but to the user, it'll just be a drop down box that then immediately makes a change.
Exactly. You can
I
also use
see.
a form tile.
That's what I had looked at, but I mean, I don't know how different they are, how easy that is.
Let's see. I think, well, I guess form tile, you'd have to add like the form and then an active form flow that calls the page data. So I guess it's some extra stuff you would have to.
Just doing it a slightly different way. Yeah.
Yeah, but essentially doing the same thing, just in a different way. I think, where was I? Test form. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. And change the entity state. I want to say my new state will be started. And so now that I debug this, now that folder should have a state now, because by default, since I'm not using it, boom, see, started.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you, yeah, okay, I got you.
Yep. And then if you added a
drop down and then a submit and then.
Yeah, exactly. Then it would, or I think what you can also do is if you can have it run on current folder change too. So like if someone just changes it, boom, will automatically update it, or you can have a button that will then run it. So.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, I'll be asking a lot more questions about dashboards for the coming foreseeable future. So.
Sweet, do it. It's been a while since I've created dynamic dashboards, so I need a refresher.
Let's say it seems like a super powerful portion of decisions.
It is. I actually went with a client that does a lot of dynamic dashboarding, where a lot of their financial service agents utilize that for like approving and reviewing loans.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's just a bunch of get page variable. They click buttons on the dashboard. It uploads
Well,
or updates
because
real
our
time.
user came to us and she's like, we don't want any right click actions. And we're like, okay, well, I don't know if we can do that, but we can try and put them, more on the dashboards and stuff like that. So
Exactly, yeah. No,
interesting.
you can definitely do that. I wish I had an example of a really cool dashboard someone made.
Yeah, if you do come across like some interesting or like useful dashboards, please send them my way.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Any other question? Let's see. Decisions has a step called HTML to PDF. How do I get the HTML of a page? Oh man, yes, the exact same question as Mark.
Yeah, I think that's an easy question.
Is it easy? I struggle with that one. I'm glad you think it's easy. Is it call HTML? So if you say HTML to PDF, I was thinking.
How you get it? Yeah. Yeah, that's HTML to PDF. But how I get HTML? How I get HTML?
How do you get HTML? Well, this is just this is you have to fetch it first somehow. This is like if I added my own HTML, like if I did my p tag, right, and then I said, da 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 da.
Yeah, you have to write by yourself. But I wish I have a page. Is there a way I can just some step get the
Yeah.
HTML from a page?
Typically this get call should typically do it. It's just with this one URL we're not able to. So if I said like dog API, right? When if you see here in my get call.
That's just a regular get. That's just a regular get step, just called get.
Yeah, and then as you can see here, I have all of the different.
That's
right.
HTML
That's the
code.
HTML. Yeah, this is HTML right here.
Oh, okay. So I can use that get HTML, then through the HTML to PDF.
Yeah, then you can say, hey, put the HTML to PDF and do it that way. Yeah.
Then that will be if right now you put the HTML to PDF behind the get, will it generate PDF file?
No, you have to put it afterwards because then you have to pass in that HTML, and then you can see it. Like we could test it out right now. Let's see what does it render like, and if it works. I think it's how you do it. Load data. Let's grab the get output, PDF file name. Let's say we'll say this is test.pdf. Make sure include the page numbers, page number alignment. Left maybe, or do we do right? I think left's fine. Then can I download? Ooh, sorry, I don't know what came over me. Download. That's not show form. Do I have to design? Oh, do I have to? I have to design it. All right, 1 second. I got to design this form, test form. Yeah, test. I was gonna say I think I have another one. That's test forms. We'll do file download. I don't need a button for this. And I'll say file. I think it's just file data though. I don't think it's file reference. So then if I flow data, grab the file, what? Yeah, it outputs it. Oh, that's funny. That looked like it was connected. That's a visual bug. That's not good. Because I was like, it is connected. And then PDF file data, and so now we debug this. What does it look like? It's running. Okay. Let's download my file. Let's look at it. Boom, there you go.
Wow. Okay. That's
So
cool.
yeah.
That's cool. That's what I need to know. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, with that being said, I'll go ahead. I know, right? Don't worry. I'm going to work on yours, Mark, and I'll send you an email later today with some information, whether I succeeded or failed. I'm pretty sure I'll succeed with it. So I don't think we'd be too bad. All righty. Well, if that's it, thank you so much for coming, everyone. That concludes our Lunch and Learn. Tomorrow we have our special treat with Kirsten Johnston. She's probably going to demonstrate some new feature in either coming in the product or some new ideas that we're pondering. So I would definitely advise joining that one. That would be really helpful, not only for you, but also for us to make the product better for you. So let's make as much buzz about it as possible, and Give us feedback into it too. What really helps them is feedback, so that if there's a feature you really like, just spam it in the chat, or send them an email about it, because the more that you guys like that stuff, I'm pretty sure the higher probability it'll make its way into the product. So awesome. Cool. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys there tomorrow. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.